Now, the governing New Patriotic Party has failed again to announce a date and modalities to elect its flag bearer and parliamentary candidate ahead of the 2024 elections. After a series of meetings, the party says it will broaden consultation until it reaches an acceptable decision. This is despite Alan Chamanting and others already on campaign tours. Kweku Asante, our political desk, has more in this report.
The president, his vice, and all who matter within the NPP met and deliberated for hours, but still could not come to a conclusion on a date to elect the new flag bearer. JoyNews understands there are entrenched views within the party relating to whether or not the party must hold an early Congress. General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kojo, told journalists the party will continue consulting until the decision is arrived at.
From steering committee through to National Executive Committee and National Council, it has been resolved that as a party we need to do further consultation on the timelines for the presidential and parliamentary elections, and within the possible shortest time we will come out with the timelines for our presidential and parliamentary elections.
Among others, the party was expected to announce modalities for its superdelegate conference if there are more than 5 aspirants. But this decision as well could not be taken. The Alan Chamanting campaign is not too pleased with the delay.
One of the big decisions the New Patriotic Party have to take now is when it will elect its flag bearer ahead of that 2024 election. Indeed, after about 6 hours of meeting here at the Alisa Hotel, in which the president, the vice president, members of parliament, key stakeholders of the NPP were involved, the party could not reach a consensus to decide on when it will elect its flag bearer. Already, Alan Chamanting and other hopefuls are already on the road campaigning to get that NPP top job. But according to party officials, no agreement has been reached, and because of this, more consultation has to take place. Our understanding is that there is currently 2 schools of thought within the NPP. One, where the section led by the president, Akufo-Addo, saying that if you elect a new flag bearer now, that will take away the spotlight, the power and everything from the president, while the other school of thought that says that let us allow the flag bearer early enough to give us enough time to campaign. Reporting for JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Alisa Hotel.
Now, 4 armed robbers with masks on their faces have shot a 30-year-old security man identified as Kofi Diaka at Stone Quarry in the Wutu West District of the Central Region. Information gathered indicates that these 4 armed robbers stormed the quarry site with heavy weapons and shot the victim, took away 2,500 cedis. Alexander Thompson, who is the safety health officer of the facility, spoke to our sister station at JoyNews.
That around between 5:58 to 6:15, the cook, that's a lady cook, and then the manager was standing, a Chinese manager was standing outside the door, and then one security man has taken over, called Kofi Diaka. So before they realized, they saw these armed robbers coming in the max. Okay. Then the lady prompted the manager, so they ran away inside the house and closed the main door. Kofi also seeing them, he started running, and then they started firing. So I think a stray bullet touched him and then he fell down just close to where we are. So there were 2 security guys. One was behind looking for maybe whatever, I just don't understand. And then the other guy was hiding. Just as he saw them, they also started running because of the stray bullets, because they were firing. So one get down and he also started giving warning shots. So it's like an exchange of guns and yeah.
Alexander Thompson says this is the 3rd time they have been robbed.
2, 3 or 3 years. You had man based on information that national security and civilians came here. And then the second one was 3 weeks, 2 days. Those are the hand robbers. That's the second one. And then the third one is yesterday's one. Okay. just unfortunately, when the first incident happened, we took a learning point that there's a need to reinforce the security, which of course we've done. There's a need to actually give them enough weapons to for protection, which we've done. But this one was, they caught us unaware. We just don't know. Only God knows. We don't know. But then we are trying to put things in order. The only challenge we haven't had a premises fenced. It's a vast area, and it's difficult to fence. But you can have a narrow gate where you can control. In the bush, we are surrounded by a bush. The place is wide open. Anybody at all can just walk in, apart from the main gate, which control vehicles and other stuff.
Kofi J of our sister station at Dome FM joins us live now with more. Kofi, what's the current situation with the security officer who has been shot?
Police from the Central East Regional Police Command has visited the scene and that based on intelligence and the source of the bullet and for further investigation. Currently, the victim is responding to treatment at Legon Gabriel Hospital. Initially, he was taken to St. Gabriel Hospital at the Morgan and was later transferred. He was supposed to transfer to Kojo, but they said there was no bed, so he sent him to Legon Gabriel Hospital. So I can speak now. And the victim is responding to treatment at Legon Gabriel Hospital. But this morning, the workers are in shock. And they are living in fear, as they were saying. This is the third time they be attacked by this perpetrator.
So, at the quarry sites now, are they working? What's happening there too?
Oh, they were not working. They were having some maintenance. That is the reason why this armed robbers couldn't get enough money. They were able to take 2,500 Ghana cedis. So they are having maintenance. So the engineers are the ones working at the site and the management of the company.
So have you heard anything as to what the company wants to do now going forward?
Come again.
Have we heard anything the company wants to do now going forward in terms of how it could better secure the environment?
We talked to the safety officer. He told us that they are writing petition to the IGP so that if they can get police assistance, maybe 2 or 4 policemen who help pick up security at the quarry sites, because the internal security are failing to combat this criminal.
Okay, grateful to you. That's our man on the ground there. Moving on to other stories now. And school children in CK Kope and its neighboring communities in the Beakoya district of the Volta region risk losing their lives on daily basis as in their quest to be educated. The school children, who are mostly conveyed in an already fully loaded canoes across the Abotoase River twice a day without life jacket. Ivit Setoji has more in the following report.
School children in Sikekopa and its neighboring communities in the Beakoya district of the Woti region on daily basis risk their lives crossing the river to access education in Tapa, Abotoase. The situation is worrying according to the residents and children, especially when there are no life jackets for the children and even the residents to use. Some of the children who fear they might lose their lives one day crossing, just like the 8 children few days ago, wants government to consider constructing a bridge across the river to help them easily go to school.
Every day we will be crossing the river. Sometimes when the boats load the first people, we'll be here waiting for the other one to come. We'll be getting late and our lessons will pass. So we are pleading the government to help us bring some school to the village. Sometimes when we come here, we find it difficult to cross the river. When we come and reach the students are very many, so we find it difficult to cross the river. So we want the government to construct a bridge for us.
A teacher in one of the communities and also an assemblyman for for the area have also been speaking on the dangers of crossing the river by the children.
We don't have a school in this area, so our other brothers started. Then they do cross this lake to the next town, which is Abotuase, for schooling. And we all know that education is the key to success. We came together as a community, and then we decided to do something for our community by putting up a structure so that we camp our young ones here so that we start teaching and learning. Actually, it was not easy where to get materials, how to go about it. So we have decided that Abotuase market shed has been rained off some time ago. So we have some roofing sheets that we think, when patched, can be used. But where do we get the money to put up the structure? So we have decided that no, we have to call on the founder of Honamato Foundation, Togbi Kaleji, to come to our aid. So quickly we call on him, and he did not hesitate at all. He came to our aid, and then come and see our effort, things that we started as community. Then he pledged to support us with 10,000 Ghana cedis. So where we are now, it is through Togbi Honamato that we are able to raise this structure. So we are appealing to the government and Ghana Education Service that they should come to our aid, because about 300 plus people used to cross daily basis from this area to Abotuase in the name of education. So we cannot afford to lose these young ones, our people, in case of any disaster, because Easter season is coming closer and there will be a storm and other things. So we don't want anything to happen before we take an action. So we are appealing to the government through the Ghana Education Service and any other benevolent groups to come to our aid so that we can have a school at Sikekope. Sikekope have about 8 communities surrounding it.
A philanthropist and founder of the Honamato Foundation, Mr. Vincent Komichi Kaneji, who have built a 3-unit for the community, has this to say.
It was 2-3 months ago when I received a message from our people here, especially the assemblyman, telling me about the difficulties the children have to face by crossing the lake on daily basis. So they were calling on the Honamato Foundation to come and assist them. So without wasting time, I came down and I saw it myself. And I pledged 10,000 for them to let them start something like this. But not wasting time, I went to Accra. I took one of them to Accra and let them board the material down here. And I'm here to supervise it. I know we are going to spend more than that because we have to finish roofing and make sure the floor is done, and there are many other things should be done, which I can't put a figure on any amount now, particular amount now. I just want to appeal to the Ghana Education Service to come to the aid of these little ones. Who knows? We'll be having the president among them here, the honorable among them here. So please, I'm appealing to the government to come to our aid here. We are going to employ private teachers to start something here so that the children stop crossing the lake to Abotuase for school. This is Sikekope. Yes, Sikekope. And there are some surrounding villages. So we'll grow them here, employ teachers for them here so that schooling start, teaching and learning start here so that they will stop crossing.
It is the hope of the community members that government does something urgent about the situation to avoid any disaster looming round. Ivy Satoji, JoyNews, Sikekope.
Vincent Kaleji is an opinion leader, and he joins us with details. He joins us on phone now. Vincent, I'm grateful that you could join us here. So how many school buildings are you trying to put up? Vincent, can you hear me?
Hello?
Vincent, can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
Hello, Vincent, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm trying to find out from you how many school structures you're putting up.
Come again. I can't hear you well.
Okay. Is it better now?
Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah, it is better now.
Okay, great. So I'm just trying to find out from you how many structures you are trying to put up and where you are with regards to completing it.
You mean how many structures have I put up?
Yes.
Oh, we went to CK Copper. That is after our vote was by over 200 children coming to CK Copper, crossing over. We put up a structure for class 1 to 3, and we went to this odometer. That is this Nian Kunya, where we put up the same pavilion for this form 1, 2, 3.
So it means we're looking at several communities where such interventions are being done, right?
Yeah, that's precisely two communities.
Okay. Okay. So from where we are, what sort of support is needed to ensure that they are completed and open to the children to study?
Honestly, I think a proper. We have done the roofing. We need to cement the floor and put in some furniture. Similar thing at Odometer, near Bumbula. Furniture is needed, and that is a structure, a gate fan structure, which is uncompleted. Over several years ago, 2017, I learned it will be abandoned. If that structure could also be completed, that will help a lot.
But how adequate would that be considering the number of kids who have to be in school in surrounding communities?
Oh, honestly, from looking at CK Copper, it's over 200 children, about 230 children we counted. And we need more should be added, but the initial plan is they could start nursery 1 to class 1 to 6. So more pavilion should be added to it before crossing the lake at that age should be prevented.
Okay. Now, by this story, I'm sure there is someone somewhere who has been touched and feels like supporting. If someone wants to support, what kind of support do you need?
Mainly furniture.
Okay. All right. Grateful to you for joining us. He is an opinion leader in that part. That's Vincent Kaleji. Now, back here in Accra, classroom blocks at the Mamprobi cluster of schools have become death traps with leaky roofs, broken pillars, and no washrooms for teachers and students. The situation is so dire, students have to vacate the classrooms every time it rains. This was a situation when the mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, toured some schools in Accra to inspect the state of infrastructure development in schools. James Aveji has more in the following report.
We have seen stories of the very sorry state of some schools in the rural areas of the country. Apparently, the problem is not limited to the hinterland. It is rife in the heart of the national capital as well. Here at the Mamprobi Simpe Junior High School, comprising the Simpe 1 Basic School, Mamprobi, Ebenezer 4 JHS and Simpe 2 JHS. The school looks pale with dusty, rusty roofing sheet which leaks profusely anytime it rains. The buildings here are hanging on limping exposed pillars which threaten to fall any anytime soon. School authorities say they have to seek asylum in this never-completing Get Fund building. That's not all. The school is also exposed to the public as almost half of the fence walls housing the school already gone. The remaining wall is also on the verge of collapsing. The school currently does not have any washroom for both teachers and pupils. But the mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, says an ongoing washroom project will soon be completed to resolve the challenge.
I'm happy to see the wash project being almost, it's getting, I think we've had about 80% of the work done, which is a good initiative, and it's a good plus to the minister for seeing to it that this is being done.
The situation is not different at the Mamprobi North 1 basic school. Among several of the problems is the absence of a computer library for the hundreds of pupils. The headmistress of the school, Rita Oseajiman, highlights some of the challenges.
The major one I will mention of is the roofing system. You see, it's an iron used amidst the breeze. So corrosion has taken place and we have holes in all over the place. When it rains, the rain comes directly into the classrooms, which affects learning. When it starts raining, we have to close up and go home. This has affected almost everything in the school. The electricals are affected, the ceilings are off. And to add to it, our computer lab, we cannot use it because the effects is on the electricals too. If you don't take care, it will cause a very big problem to the children. So these are some of the problems. And all the woodworks in the school, due to the rains, they are all peeling off. So these are some of the challenges. We can't use our cupboards because they are all off. The wood, everything is off from the cupboard. We have some in good shape, which we can use. Even last term, a company came to donate 5 brand new computers. We cannot mount them due to this problem. So some are in good shape. If the place is in session, we can have some to use. Yeah. You're welcome.
Addressing these infrastructure challenges, the mayor, Elizabeth Saki, promised that the assembly is looking for resources to fix them as she appealed to corporate Ghana to come on board.
And then I also want to plead with all the corporate entities, thank you, that's it, the corporate entities, so that at least they can come on with their social responsibility, which I believe strongly that will help to enhance all that we have seen.
The tour resumes next week to check on the state of roads in Accra. James Kwesi Aveji's report for JoyNews.
Now let's still stay on education because first consignment of school furniture totaling 5,000 in number is expected to be delivered to 85 schools in the Pandai district this week. This follows government's commitment to provide furniture to schools in the district which lack furniture. The move comes after JoyNews' documentary Ghana Schools of Shame, which outlines some schools in the district which lack furniture. We'll bring you details of the story later. You're also watching the JoyNews desk. Now to the MC for Ghana West Municipality, Clement Wilkinson, has assured the people of Papase and Domfase that their collapsed bridge will soon be reconstructed for them. We'll hear from him shortly, but here is what our cameras captured when we visited the community on Thursday.
Obi ba na bridge na ebu a so kofa eyi Kumase kwano so nsawam abepie afum krum enye ho so so fa kotoku ekofa kwashi kuma esa kofa Kojo ashon ekofa otate ekofa ewi we ansan waba bedu kofikui. Look at this.
A resident of Papase telling us how difficult it is for people to access the community due to the collapsed bridge.
This is a bridge linking Domfase and Papase in the Ghana West and Ghana South of the Greater Accra region. Now this bridge has caved in for more than 6 months, according to residents of this area. But since it caved in as a result of the flooding that occurred last year, nothing has been done about this situation. This wooden structure you see was put up by an individual who felt something must be done about the situation, because if it doesn't, many more lives can be lost as a result of this damage.
Ninji operates a poultry farm in the area. He says the nature of the bridge is affecting his business.
It's sad and then heartbreaking how our leaders operate in this country. I left America to come in and create a business here in Ghana because our leaders keep promoting local business, and then we try to do our best to help the businesses down here. Myself and many other farms are in there. I came here and it's been barely 6 months. This bridge has been broken and it's really hampering my business. The productivity and then everything is not going on well because we have to carry the feed, carry water. Our self-transporting us into the farm is not been easy. Sometimes I feel like giving up.
Richard Banahene funded the construction of a wooden bridge here to reduce the risk on children.
Because then time me di misika be bridge nyesa manya sika bruso me gina honomu. I
used my money to construct this bridge because of a situation I noticed. Some children nearly fell off the bridge. I then decided to use the little money I have to construct the bridge so my relatives don't suffer the consequence.
Papase is in the Ghana South municipality of the Greater Accra region with Clement Wilkinson as the chief executive. Richard and Ninji, like other residents, want the bridge fixed to save lives and businesses.
I saw the MCE using the road, but I didn't comment. It is the duty of the MCE to notify the president of happenings in the society. The MCE is the representation of the president in the society. So if he can use this route and not think about the consequence, he should note that we voted for the president who appointed him. So if we decide to vote against the president, he should know he will also lose his job. We are pleading with them to please come and fix the bridge.
From today, I expect to see a change. The MCE needs to be up and doing. The assemblyman, I would say, has no power and then has no authority. But the MCE has to be the one in charge to make sure that MP is aware, the appropriate authorities are aware, and the right thing is done. The MCE is the person I put all this responsibility on. He has to make sure the right thing is done. Nobody else will be held or be blamed for this, but the MCE in particular, he needs to make sure this is resolved within the next 48 hours. People's life matters. They cannot joke with people's life and businesses. Besides my business, there are many other businesses in there. I have 5 workers. I pay them monthly salary. I'm fed up. I feel like giving up. If I give up, 5 people being unemployed.
So the cries of the people of Domfase and Papase are that government will hear their cries and fix this problem, which has been here for more than 6 months. Else, it's only bad news that we may one day wake up to. But will government hear their cries? That lies in the belly of time. From Papase, for JoyNews, Samuel Kojo.
Now, the MC says the bridge will be reconstructed by March this year.
The people of Papase and Domfase should appreciate what we have done so far.
What have you done?
No, because I'm coming. You just take your time. This bridge got deteriorated about a few months ago. And, we as a municipal assembly, we have where to channel those things. We have been to the feeder roads. We have been there with them. We have gone to the urban roads. As I speak, last week, we were there with a team. And there were a lot of Papase people or Domfase people are there. They were there, and they saw what they were doing. The bridge has collapsed, yes. It doesn't mean we are not working on it. But you see, the way people say things, like I heard some people saying that I just came there and I was working on the bridge, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I think they need to take inventory. They need to do everything that they can do.
Well, Mr.
Right?
DC, Mr. MC,
So
if you were living there and you had your bridge collapse for 6 months, you are not able to drive on it, your businesses are being affected, you would obviously be speaking like they have done. Now, what they want to see is that for the past 6 months that this has been there, what have you done? Why has it not been resolved? That's what they want to know.
And I'm telling them that they saw us there, that we are working on the bridge. So they should just be exercise patience for us.
We are working on the bridge,
for 6 months
very
and
soon,
over.
that bridge, the entire bridge has to be removed from there. It's not something that they are going to do some patches or anything. The bridge has been removed, have to remove from there totally.
When are they likely to see the bridge fixed so that life can return to them and the
we'll
people
do that.
in there?
We will fix the bridge.
When?
Oh, very soon.
How soon is your soon that you're promising?
My brother, as far as I'm concerned, we were told last time that we went there that because I told them that very soon the rain will start again. And when the rain starts, even that wooden structure that we are seeing there right now, nobody can cross it. So my wish is that before ending of February, March there, they have to finish the entire bridge.
To other stories now, the Fisheries Ministry and the Ghana Standards Authority have teamed up with the USAID to provide fish consumers an option of buying fish that are healthier and hygienic on the market. The organizations at the national launch of the Safe Fish Certification and Licensing Scheme here in Accra indicated how contaminated fish on the market are affecting the health of the populace. Head of the Inspectorate Division of the Ghana Standards Authority, Jessica Nkansa, says the Standards Authority is in talks with the assemblies to provide a space in the market for the certified and licensed fish sellers so the public will have an option of choosing fish that are free from contamination. Richard Kojo has more in this report.
Fish Certification and Licensing Scheme launched on Tuesday seeks to regulate the fish processing industry. The scheme recommends using improved fish processing methods and techniques as well as hygienic practices. Speaking at the launch of the program, head of the Inspectorate Division of the Ghana Standards Authority, Jessica Nkansa, explained they will ensure a regulation of the domestic market and give Ghanaians better quality food products on the market.
When it comes to the contamination, you can have contamination from the handling. For instance, their hands, the equipment they use, and you can have contamination from the process they use. For instance, if there's too much smoke, the product would have too much smoke, which is carcinogenic, we know. So these ladies have been trained to know how to handle fish, wash the fish, do not put it on the ground, make sure there's no contamination coming in from the pets, from the pests, and all those, as well as from the processing techniques. And this, we have tested from the laboratories that there is a massive improvement in these contamination levels. So now the Ghanaian consuming public is going to have access to safe fish, which would not have an adverse effect on their health. We are even working with the municipal assemblies to have set aside markets for this fish, so that when you want it, you go there and you have it. Of course, there may be a premium to it, but it's a small price to pay for the long-term effects on our health. So they would have a choice to make as to which kind of fish to buy.
Deputy Fisheries Minister Moses Enim says the move is a strategic one to make Ghanaians at all levels of food chain to enjoy healthier fish that are not compromised.
Safe Fish Certification and Licensing Scheme is to bring standards in our local post-harvest handling processes, to have a SOP, a standard operating procedures, common to everybody. If you have this certification and you start up with a bad fish, definitely you end up with a bad product. Okay, and the complaint will come, and the certification at a point you will be stopped. They will withdraw your license, withdraw your certificate, and all that. Okay, so it is a strategic approach to let the Ghanaian at all level of the value chain be very sensitive to the quality that we want to establish.
USAID Mission Director Paul Plever explains the project will bode well for the Ghanaian society and help in the consumption of quality fish resources.
The fishing industry, as I've said, is a source of income for millions of people. My background is as an economist, and this fact I think is worth emphasizing. We've heard it from our speakers, but let me add a little bit as well. There's only so many fish that can be fished out of the ocean here. As we all know, there is a limit. However, value can be added to what is pulled from the ocean. And certification is a great way to do that. When someone goes to the market, they will pay more if they know that they will be healthy, if the food is safe. Hotels, high-end customers are really looking for these kinds of certifications to add value to what we already have. So,
the Feed the Future Ghana Fisheries Recovery Activity is a USAID-funded project that has the purpose to prevent the collapse of the small pelagic fisheries sector and establish a durable basis for its ecological recovery while enhancing the socio-economic well-being and local resilience of artisanal fisherfolk and their communities. Richard Kojo, Joy News, Accra.
We'll take a break now for business. Stay with us.
Hello, welcome to the business segment on Joy News Desk. With me, Pius Kojo. Ghana has secured almost $9 billion in total revenue since it started exporting crude oil in April 2011. This was captured in Ghana's petroleum account at the Federal Bank of New York. But how has the money been spent and what is currently left in the account? George Yafe has the details.
The account showed that the revenue came from oil liftings and corporate taxes, as well as other income since 2011. The report revealed that oil liftings from 2011 to 2022 got the country a little over $7 billion. Other receipts and taxes gave us almost $2 billion. But how were these monies spent? Well, the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation took $1.4 billion as equity financing cost. $1.1 billion went to support its oil exploration needs. $3.4 billion had been advanced to support the country's budget and projects identified over the past 20 years, as well as help in stabilizing the economy over that period. So has the almost $9 billion all been spent? Well, the answer is no. This is because $828 million is currently in the Ghana Heritage account at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. While on the other hand, $1.9 billion was put in the Ghana Stabilization Fund. However, there has been some significant drawdowns on this account over the years. But for some, the question is, could we have gotten more than what has been reported with Ghana's petroleum oil accounts at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York?
In other stories, managers of Usu Kuala, Maxmart at 37 and Cantonment were the latest to fall in the grips of the Ghana Revenue Authority for tax evasion. This is part of measures by the authority to enforce the electronic VAT law. Other managers who were picked up were managers of Palace Mall and Laboni and Kuala Center at Laboni, all within the Greater Accra region. There is more in this report.
What do you want to do?
This is a continuous exercise sanctioned by the Commissioner of Domestic Tax Revenue to boost compliance on the electronic VAT initiative. The managers of 37 Maxmart, Kuala Usu, Kuala Laboni, Palace Mall at Laboni, Maxmart Cantonment were arrested after some engagements with the officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Their offences include failure to issue electronic VAT, duplication of signatures on VAT receipts, among others. There was a bit of hesitation at the Laboni Kuala Center and Palace Mall at Laboni when the managers appeared to affect the arrest. Here is Accra Area Manager of Enforcement at the GRE.
I mean, of course, the cases are many and varied. The infractions are many and varied. So it depends on the manager and the case that we built against that particular shop. Because there are different shops at different branches. So you could even have the same company, but the infraction is different because the infractions are happening at various locations. So that's what is happening. So each case is being looked at separately from the others.
So if that's the case, like you mentioned to us the last time, mention which particular station or center and then their offense.
Yes.
So like 37 Maxmat, their offense, cantonment.
All right. We are looking at Kuala, the Osu branch, non-issuance of EVAT invoice. Then with Kuala Cantonment branch, the same offense. And then Maxmat, the same offense. And then Pali Shopping Mall, they were duplicating the signature. Yes. And then the last, which is Maxmat, also the same offense, non-issuance of the EVAT invoice. Yes.
He has also been explaining the tax laws under which the offences were committed and the appropriate penalties.
We are looking at the sections of our VAT Act and then the Revenue Administration Act. When you look at the VAT Act, the prescribed sanctions are under Section 58 and Section 59. And I can give you the maximum penalty units that can be applied is 1,500.
And that'll be all for business for today. I am Pius Kojo Baka.
Welcome back from the break. Now, a group calling itself the Concerned Student Association of the University of Ghana has taken to the street today in the Yabremo 2.0 demo against the university management's recent 40% fee increment, accommodation problems, among others. James Aveji joins us live with details. James, what can you report? James, if you can hear me, run us through what's happening where you are.
All right, Brace. If you can hear me, we are live here at the Obra Sports at Circle in Accra, where a group calling itself the Concerned Student Association of the University of Ghana have gathered here in what they call the Yabremo 2.0 demonstration, where they want to register their displeasure over some decisions taken by the university management in the past few days. They said the increment in the school fees as well as other things are the reason why they are on the street this morning. If you can see clearly, we have them holding placards containing inscriptions. They are calling for the building of hostels on campus to solve the accommodation situations that is associated with the school. They are calling for the reinstatement of Commonwealth Hall members. Another inscription reads, bring back the Hall Week celebration. I have a member of the group here to tell us exactly why they are on the street this morning. The demonstration, we are told, would commence from Obra Sport here in Accra Circle all the way to the Independence Square, where they'll be giving a petition they'll be reading to the media as well as the general public. A gentleman is with me here, and he is also a student of the University of Ghana. Tell us exactly why you are on the street this morning.
We are on the street with the reason of so many issues, which is causing the angst and worrying of students of the University of Ghana. We have a university whereby Parliament came out with a decision that all tertiary institutions should increase their fees not more than 50%. We had a university that came with a proposed 21% increment, which we were worried. A week after, they came with another increment, which sum up to a total of more than 45%, which means they violated Parliament procedure. We had a NUCS president who came to organize a press conference that brought the attention of the media and that of the attention of the Minister of Education. We were told and we saw that the Minister of Education called a meeting for all vice chancellors of various public universities and asked them to go back and reduce their fees. Two schools were proving stubborn. That was UHAS and the University of Ghana. But just this Monday, we had the information from the NUCS president that UHAS has decreased their fees. we had the University of Ghana, which has decided not to kowtow to the instruction of the Minister of Education, that of Parliament. This is illegal. When you tell them they should decrease it, they will tell you they should have increased the fees by 5% or so. Let me put it this way. They should have increased the fees in the year 2019. I want to ask them, if they are saying they should have increased the fees in 2019, those students have completed. Why then a university can also come up and say, in the year 1945, I should have increased fees. So now I want to add up to this year.
Right. Apart from the school fee increment, what other issues are you raising this morning?
Most students don't have a place to sleep. Currently this year, the university admitted almost 17,000 students. And out of the 17,000 students, only just 6,000 of them were given accommodation. Let's use a reality. They are saying that not all these students were regular students. Some are distance students. Okay, let's say 10,000 are regular students. And if you've given accommodation to 6,000, where do you expect the remaining 4,000 to go and sleep? You want them to join the remaining continuous students who are non-residents to suffer the consequences. We have students.
Exactly what are you demanding from the school management?
Let me end this. With the accommodation issue, we have students from Kaswa who close class around 7:30. We leave them at the mercy of criminals. We don't. People have been scammed because they want a place to sleep. They have to pay a huge amount of fees for protocol before they can get a place to sleep.
So what are your demands?
We are demanding that the university management should speed up their game in constructing, or if they can't, they should go in for investors who will come in and construct accommodation facilities for students to get a place to sleep. This is our plea.
Okay, thank you. So, Brace, those are the issues. The 40% increment in school fees, as well as the lack of accommodation on campus, are the reasons why the students are not in the lecture halls this morning, but they find themselves at the Obra Sport here in Circle Accra to hit the street right from here to the Independence Square to register their displeasure over this decision. They are demanding the school to reverse these decisions, both the school fees increment as well as find accommodation for the student. The demonstration has just begun. The Yabremu 2.0 demonstration, literally meaning we are tired of you, has just started, and we'll keep listeners updated as when issues unfold.
Okay, so that's James Aveji joining us from the Obra Sport. Now time for us to bring you Tech Talk. All right, so just before we take a leave of you, Kobe Spike is here with Tech Talk. Hello, Kobe, so what are we doing today?
Hi, Brace. So we're talking about the latest newly announced Samsung Galaxy S23, S23 Plus, and S23 Ultra. So all these three new phones announced by Samsung last Wednesday touted to be the most powerful Android devices currently on the market, especially the Ultra, coming in with a camera that has 200 megapixels. Now, if you have never seen anything like that before, I got to experience it myself on Wednesday, and yes, the photography is crazy. Like, you can take very good night shots. They're promising very good video as well, and they actually let video directors like Ridley Scott shoot videos with it that they demonstrated. And they also announced two new laptops, actually three, the Galaxy Book Pro and Galaxy Book Ultra and Pro 360. They also have very powerful specifications for creative professionals and, you know, anyone who wants to be in a full Samsung ecosystem where you can connect your tablet, your phone, all to your laptop and have a fully immersive experience.
All right, thank you very much, Kobe Spikey. And that's it for the bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo. Praise to enjoy the rest of our shows and have a great morning.